I just want to apologize right now. I know that this video is going to be very long, and my editing skills are pretty horrendous. I don't have a whole lot of practice yet, and I just use Windows Movie Maker, and I believe that's one of the most basic ones. So I don't have a whole lot of skill in editing yet, so I'm definitely going to try to cut this down in time a little bit, but it's probably going to be a little bit choppy. I hope that doesn't turn off anybody and send them away from my channel, but you know, I'm just starting off, so the more I do this, I hope the better it'll be. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Retro Rewinder here. Finally coming back with another video. A quick little backstory. Me and my wife have been hunting for a house the last few months. Finally found one. The whole process of getting the house. Excuse me. Trying to get a game room set up. Fighting sickness. I've been crazy busy with all that combined. And I haven't had time to do little pickup videos here and there. So I've actually got everything of what I thought was important enough to show in a video together. There's quite a bit of stuff here, so it might take a little bit of while, but I'll try to hustle through this a little bit. So, well, let's get started. Well, actually, before that, we are in the game room now. As you can see behind me, I've got my NES shelf here. I'm still missing a big shelf that I'm going to put over here on this wall. When I get that shelf put up, it'll be holding all my Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games. Loose games. I've actually got my Sega Genesis box games behind the camera right now. But once I get that big shelf put together, found and put together, I don't even have one yet, I'll probably be doing a room tour video because I'm pretty happy with what I have right now, and I think it's pretty cool and I'd like to share it with all of you. So let's jump right into this. We'll start at the thrift stores first. So at Goodwill, I don't really collect Pokemon stuff, but I know that these can sell sometimes for $15 to $20. So I picked up a Pokedex. I paid $1.99 for that. At the same Goodwill, I got this, which I thought would be a cool piece just to display on one of my shelves. And it is a Master Chief sitting on Mongoose, and together I paid $1 for that. Let's see here. I've been having a really good luck at the thrift stores lately with Dreamcast stuff. I don't know what it is, but I just keep hitting and hitting on Dreamcast stuff. So, right here we have two controllers that I found. $2.99 for this one, and I paid $5.99 for this one, and that's because it came with a VMU, one of the blue ones. I don't have a cap for it, unfortunately, but it's not a big deal. And that also came in the box. The box is in okay shape. There's some corner damage right there. Goodwills around here always write on them with permanent marker, and I hate that, but there's nothing I can really do about that. But yeah, $5.99 for that with the box. And in the box also came two games that I'm not sure where those are right now. I believe they're in this bag. Not games. The web browser, still sealed. I mean, you see these all the time, no big deal there. And then the Dreamcast Generator Volume 2. Those were just kind of added in bonuses. I thought they were kind of neat. For $6, I thought that was a really good deal. Also at the thrift stores, I picked up a Game Boy Advance bundle with the white Game Boy Advance, and it does work really well. It's in pretty good shape actually too. There's very minimal scratches. It actually came pretty clean. I didn't have to do very much to that. Also came with some games. They're nothing too exciting, but we have Hot Wheels Burnin' Rubber, Mary Kate and Ashley Girls Night Out, probably my favorite one of the bunch. And that actually came with the manual. Ooh. Another Mary Kate and Ashley game, Crush Course. And I plan on just taking those to a game store and trading them in to get something that I want. Monster Jam. And I'll probably be trading in all these games actually. Oh, and the Crush Course came with the manual as well. For that whole bundle I paid $7.99. Back to the Dreamcast stuff. I've been finding these lately, which is the gun peripheral to go with it. It is not a Dream or Sega brand. It's actually made by Mad Catz, but it actually feels pretty good in my hand. I found 4 of these recently. One of them was broken, so I actually left it at the store, but I paid $2.99 for that one. $2.99 for this one as well. And it actually came with a VMU as well, just a gray one. Again, no cap there. Toss out some of these bags when I get to them now, because it seems like that's what I keep having, bags everywhere from Goodwill. This one as well, so I picked up 3 total, and I paid $1.99 for that one. I'll probably just keep one. I don't do a whole lot of retro gaming with anybody around here, so I normally just need one. I'll probably just take the other 2 and trade those in. I would assume I could get, maybe up to $10 store credit for the pair. Just a little extra bonus to get me another game. And I actually found 2 Dreamcast systems, and they came with controller and power cord, no AV cord. And I paid $5 for that one of them and $6 for the other. And I actually traded them in the same day for $25 cash. It was just something quick turnaround, and I don't have those anymore. Also, let me check and see if I have any Dreamcast stuff. Oh yeah, here's one. At one of the Goodwills, they had Street Fighter Alpha 3, and this was in with all their CDs, and the Goodwill actually prices them $1.99 per CD. But for some reason, they all had individual prices at $5.99, and that was kind of a disappointment. But I took it up to the register with another CD that I found, which was the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack, and it only had the $1.99 price sticker. Doubt you can see that, but it was $1.99. So I took both of them up there and presented them to her with the Banjo-Kazooie on top. She looked at the Banjo-Kazooie price and gave me $1.99 for both of them. So I picked up the Street Fighter Alpha 3 for $1.99 as well. We'll move over to some PlayStation 2 stuff. I don't have very much of that. But I did find 2 controllers, PS2 controllers, and I paid $4 a piece for those. It actually came in one of the multi-taps, but they wanted like $6 for the multi-tap, and there was another off-brand controller that they wanted $4 for as well. So I ended up just taking these 2 off, because they had them all individually priced, but it was all put together, so I ended up just taking these 2. This was actually just yesterday, or 2 days ago, I'm sorry. I got Bomberman Tournament for the Game Boy Advance for $2.99. And a game that I don't know much about, but I thought it was pretty cool because of who it features. But it's Wario Blast featuring Bomberman, and it's got Wario holding a bomb with Mario, or with Bomberman on the bomb. I thought that was kind of cool, and I paid $2.99 for that one as well. I also picked up at Goodwill Doom 64 for $2.99. And at a thrift store in my hometown that hardly ever has games, I think I found some strategy guides there once for some Zelda games, which is pretty cool, for like 50 cents a piece. But they actually had these Game Boy Advance videos, and they had them marked at $1 a piece. They were in the boxes. I offered them 50 cents a piece, and they took it. So I have 2 of them right here in the box. Nickelodeon All Grown Up and Nick the Fairly Odd Parents. And then I actually had 2 sealed ones that I got for 50 cents a piece as well. And it was the Fairly Odd Parents again, but Volume 1, I think the other one was Volume 2. And Dragon Ball GT Volume 1. So 50 cents for those. And that same day they also had a sealed Game Boy Advance game that I paid 50 cents for as well. And that was The Lion King 1.5. At a pawn shop, I believe this is the only pawn shop item I have. This pawn shop that I go to has a $2 rack where all DVDs, movie, games that are on that rack are $2. And I ended up finding Katamari Damacy for $2, and that is complete. The disc last time I think I looked at it, yeah, it's in pretty good shape. Not a whole lot of scratches, so that was a good find for $2. Okay, moving on to half-price books. On the half-price books that I go to, on Tuesdays they do a retro day, and all video games are 20% off. So I picked up everything that I'm about ready to show you at a 20% discount. I picked up International Tour Tennis and College Football National Championship. Sega Genesis loose for 50 cents as well. Razor Freestyle Scooter. Paid $1.99 for that. Asteroids Hyper 64. And that one was $3.99. San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing for $4.99. I got Knockout Kings 2000, and these are all complete. Mia Hamm Soccer, and Kobe Bryant and NBA Courtside. And those were $3 a piece. The last thing that I picked up at Half Price Books, which was the best out of the whole bunch, for the NES, for $8.99, I got Bubble Bobble with my 20% discount. Okay, let's move on to Disc Replay. I believe I only have one thing here that I picked up at Disc Replay here lately, and for the Dreamcast, that was Unreal Tournament for $1.99. Okay, I'll talk about a Craigslist deal that I did. I picked up about 40 to 50 games, a PS2 system, controllers, the network adapter, and I paid, I believe it was $50 for that whole lot. I ended up only keeping 4 of the games, and I resold the system and all the rest of the games, controllers, etc. to a local game store in my town for trading credit and cash. Like I said, I paid $50 for the whole lot, and these are the games that I kept out of it. I kept Capcom Classics Volume 2, the greatest hits version of Shadow of the Colossus, and Dark Cloud. Kept is Dragon Quest VIII. Like I said, all those were really scratched up. Dragon Quest had everything with it. They all had all the manuals, I believe. Well, Dark Cloud didn't have the manual. That was the only one that didn't have the manual. Like I said, those were all pretty scratched up, and I didn't think that any game store would even take any of it. I took them to Disc Replay, and they wouldn't take any of them because they were that scratched. And they don't, want to resurface all the games. There wasn't a whole lot of standout titles. I took the 4 that obviously were the best. But I did take them to my local store, and they gave me a deal that I could not believe. He gave me $25 cash, and he also gave me this, a Sega Nomad. He actually only had this price, and he gave me the carrying case, and I believe it's just a Sega Game Gear Dreamcast, or Game Gear case, but it also had a charger, or not charger, power unit, because you don't actually charge anything, but you can play it, while it's plugged in, and a battery pack. And this is kind of cool. You just actually put AA batteries in there. It takes quite a few, and then that mounts right onto the back. And for you that don't know, a Sega Nomad plays Sega Genesis games on the go. And there's actually a controller port and AV and power, so you can take this over to a friend's house and hook it up to their TV and play on it. Kind of cool. And he actually only had it priced like $21. I believe that he mispriced it and thought that it was a Game Gear or just like something like a Game Gear. I don't think he actually realized what he had. So he gave me that and $25 cash. So yesterday I was in one of our neighboring towns, and they have this bookstore that's pretty small, and they don't really carry very much video game stuff there. They have like one shelf that has some stuff on it. But I was actually able to find some things. First off, I found the Incredible Crash Dummies, and he had that priced at $1.95. And then an issue of Nintendo Power that I did not have during the GameCube era, with Pokemon on there. And the last thing I got was a strategy guide for Donkey Kong Country 2. And he had that price at $1.75 and the magazine at 75 cents. He had really good prices on them, but I always feel like that I have to try to get a better deal. So I asked if he could do a bundle since I got 3 things, and he charged me $3.99 plus tax for the 3 things. So I thought that was a really good deal. Now moving on to my very last deal, which I think this is by far the best one out of all the things I've shown. I was in one of our neighboring towns, and they have a video game store that has incredible games there at pretty good prices. They're actually trying to sell their store, but keep it running, not just like liquidate. So I don't know why they price things like they do, but they could definitely put higher price tags on it. But the times that I've been in here, in that store, they don't sell a whole lot. Like, the same games are there, which was really surprising. And two of the games that have been there for a while, I really wanted. And they were Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, and Super Metroid. Now, if you can see, he had Super Mario RPG priced at $36.99, which is already a good deal on that one, and Super Metroid priced at $24.99, which is a pretty good deal on that as well. And I asked, they had a girl working there, and she's always the same one in there. I asked if she could do a bundle deal for me. She texted the owner, he texted back, asked how much they were, and they actually had 3 copies of Super Mario RPG. One of them had pretty bad label damage across one of the corners, and that one they only had priced at $30, or like $31. So she texted him back and said that, you know, one of the games is $25 and one of them's $31. So she already told him lower price. So he texted back and said that he could do both for $50. And I was like, you know, that's a great deal. I'll go ahead and do that. And it just so happens at the same time there was a gentleman selling a strategy guide for Super Mario RPG. He brought in some stuff to trade in, and that was one of the things. And that alone goes for like $25 online. And they finished his transaction, he left. And as I was talking to the girl, I was like, is there any way that you could throw in the strategy guide with the game? And she said, you know what, I didn't even really pay him anything for it. That was just kind of an extra thing that, you know, we don't really buy. But she offered him a price for everything, so she said she would throw it in. So I got the 2 games and the strategy guide for $50 total. And I think that was just a fantastic deal, because I've been really wanting to own those 2 Super Nintendo games, and they're great additions to my collection. So that was my entire pickup video. I've actually picked up a lot more than that, but a lot of it's just filler titles here and there, which some of those that I've showed you today were filler titles anyway. But there was a lot that I didn't show that just kind of went under the radar, and I forgot about, etc. Like I said, I'm in the game room now, so look forward to an upcoming video about that when I get my shelf in the corner. Again, this is Retro Rewinder. I really appreciate you watching my video, all the likes and the new subs and comments. I enjoy talking to people on here. Thanks again. Oh, yeah.